Good evening. Trying something a little different. Sitting in one of the cars. It's raining outside, so maybe the being in the car will keep the noise down on the tin roof of my shop. Try it out. A little something different. I want to talk about something that's weighed on me increasingly towards the end of this year as things have happened, tragedies have happened on the national scale and more locally, and the way it's been weighing on me and the way it's been sitting on my mind. My intention, I'm not interested in a theological debate, not interested in some kind of atheism. What do you call that? The apologetics. That's not my thing, not my forte. So I'm appealing to a more, in some ways you could say emotional, but a more introspective angle of the discussion. And I've been thinking about it increasingly, about, especially when you look at the broader landscape of our culture, how church numbers, religious numbers, people claiming to be believers, claiming to be Christians, it's actually leveled out very recently, but it's been on a downward trend for quite some time. And it's baffled so many people about how is it that Christianity and the word and the good news has thrived for generations, for thousands of years, and then it seems that as we entered this industrial age about 100 years ago, the nosedive began in people claiming to be Christian and claiming to be followers of Christ. We've just done nothing but become an increasingly secular society. No one is, fewer and fewer people are attending church on a regular basis. Where is that coming from? And I honestly believe that it is coming from the fact that we are, beginning with the Industrial Revolution, we have only become more and more shallow, materialistic, just very focused on what's in front of you. The focus for most people every day is just getting through the day, minding your own business, not worrying about anybody, not caring about anybody, just very, very lonely, sad existence is what we have reduced ourselves down to in the recent decades. And so what am I getting at? There was a tragedy that happened just a couple days ago of a little 4-year-old boy a couple hours from me who went missing. And he went missing in the afternoon, and him and his dog went missing, and they couldn't find him. His dad reported him missing a couple hours later, and they had a couple hundred people in search crews looking. I believe they sent up infrared drones looking for over the woods. I believe it was a very wooded area where this little boy went missing, little Jonathan Boley. And they never found him. Didn't find him yesterday, and the news dropped a couple hours ago that they found his body with his dog still alive. The dog was still alive, but his deceased body, tragically, was found in the woods about 2 miles from his home. And there's still a lot to come out, but it's believed that he was playing with his brother, I believe, and him and his dog wandered off into the woods and got lost. And they believe that it's looking like he tragically passed away from hypothermia in the woods at night. We've had a few cold nights here recently. Just absolutely tragic. And it's a truly tragic story. And you pair that with the fact that just a few months ago we saw one of the most prolific believers in our modern day, Charlie Kirk, who was martyred and assassinated in front of the whole world to see. Videos were all over the internet. Nothing was ever taken down. Sometimes you'll still like stumble across a video of it. I did just like a week ago. It's a horrible thing for anybody to see. It's not meant for our eyes. And so why is it that for thousands of years and many generations, our ancestors were so deeply religious and we just no longer are? I think that it is because we no longer experience tragedy in the true sense. We no longer experience the death. We no longer experience death. And we especially no longer experience the finality of death. The only thing in life that is truly final is death. Once somebody dies, that's it. There's no bringing that soul back. I think that we have I think that is what we have completely divorced ourselves from as a society. We have taken death and put it in this corner way over here. Or stay. That's our the mentality that we have as a whole is stay. That's death. Keep that over there. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. That's yucky. I just want to live my life. I want to live for the now. I want to go home from work and just watch TV and watch Netflix. And I'm at a point now where I really think that is a huge part of the huge cause of the atheism epidemic that we are experiencing. So many of these people that claim to be atheists are claiming that because many of them have never experienced death. For you to experience death of somebody that you know, somebody close to you, to experience the tragedy of death and come out of that still an atheist, the only argument for that is that you as an individual have never experienced life. If you can experience the finality, the tragedy of death, and see either close to you, or sometimes it can happen, sometimes it almost happens to you, or sometimes it happens to somebody very near to you. If you can see and experience that loss of life, that departure of a soul never to return on this side of heaven, if you can experience that and still walk away an atheist, you have never experienced life. I truly consider myself as somebody who has experienced life. Now, what does experiencing life means? It means to surround yourself by people and relationships that truly matter to you. To put people around you that you have a true deep connection with, a unique connection to where if that person were to leave your life, nothing would ever replace them. If you can lose a friend and just make another friend, no matter how long you've been friends, then you have not experienced that. Creating a life with the spouse that you truly love and care for and truly invest in the relationship. Most people don't actually invest in relationships. If you can truly do that, divorce becomes not an option. It's just not even a thing in your relationship. It's just like, even through the struggles, it's like not even like thought about, because it's like, I can't live without you. I can't. You are an irreplaceable person. And then when you have children, that having children is the experience of life that nothing will ever compare to. And so many people nowadays that have kids, and you see them with their kids and just their indifference to their own kids. To me, that's not because people have no soul or no heart for the most part. That's because they are overly plugged into the screens, to the dopamine rush of Amazon shopping and just the crap that is so cheap and addictive and completely meaningless. Your Netflix binge watching, your Amazon shopping, all these things you are filling your time with that have no depth and are just meaningless, are robbing you of life. If you're listening to this and you're like, I'm way off track, I gotta zero in on this. It starts with becoming an introspective person. Introspective. Are you comfortable in your own head? Can you sit in a room? Can you sit in a car and just sit there and be comfortable in your own head? No phone, nothing. That's step one to becoming an introspective person. Once you do that, once you can get that first domino to fall, if you can keep that up, your life will begin. Once you can do that, you'll get out of that car, get out of that room, see your little boy or little girl, and it will change. Your life will begin. The depth of your life will begin. You will, once you experience life, true life, atheism stands no chance. It makes no sense. You cannot tell me, you cannot convince me, you can't convince me that little 4-year-old boy who tragically suffered and died in the woods at night alone with his dog, you can't tell me it's lights out for that little boy. You will never convince me that he is not in the loving arms of Jesus Christ. When Charlie Kirk was executed on stage in front of the whole world to see, you cannot and will never convince me that he is not with the Father. That soul was created. That soul came from somewhere. That is a real human life and a human soul. It was created. And when the body becomes no more, that soul does not end. That soul, that the human being behind that soul, the person, the soul, goes to the Father and answers. John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. My all-time number one favorite verse. Those are Jesus's words. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one will come to the Father except through me. Just sit on that one. No one will come to the Father except through me. If you are an atheist, you are here because the Father is graciously giving you time. Please heed my words. He loves you. He's for you, not against you. Don't buy into the atheist scam, the atheist lie. You will pay the ultimate price. And now this is another good one, another very popular one, who a lot of people say, well, how do we know that little 4-year-old Jonathan Bowley is in heaven with Christ? Because he never heard the message. He never knew, right? There's many places in the Bible that explain and answer the fact that he's with the Father. But here's one of my more favorite explanations and interpretations. These are, again, the words of Jesus. Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Unless you change and become like little children. Christ is telling us unless you change and become like little children, because little children are innocent little sponges, and they will believe what you tell them. And Jesus is quoted many times throughout the scripture saying, you of little faith, right? We are all like Thomas. Remember Thomas, who had a hard time believing that Jesus was crucified? We as adults are all like Thomas. All we do is we just waste time and we question and we are such a hard sell. Children just believe. Unless you become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So the little children are entering the kingdom of heaven. It's up to us to become like the little children and believe. It's up to us to become like the little children, and we too will enter the kingdom of heaven. The Gospels are amazing. Absolutely love it. So anyway, thanks for watching this one, a little bit of a longer one. Please pray for the soul of little Jonathan Bowley. We know where he's at. We know that he's with Christ. It's the tragedy of knowing what that poor little boy went through. What that poor little boy went through during his last hours on that lonely, dark, cold night. It is just so tragic. What any of us would have given to have just known where he's at and be able to pinpoint him on a map. Let us all stay prayerful, and we need to pray for the children of this country. We have a mandate to the children of this country to watch over them and protect them and raise them up. That's the number one point of human existence here. For what's our purpose is to follow Christ and raise our kids, protect our kids, and raise them right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening, and God bless.